bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Coach Miranda Minor, ang crypto coach na inyong maaasahan. Coach Miranda Minor, sa cryptocurrency kayo'y gagabayan. Coach Miranda Minor, hangarin na lahat ay matulungan. Pagmamahal at culture of malasakit sa kanya'y mararamdaman.
Maraming salamat guys, I love you 3000.
Coach Miranda Minor, ang crypto coach na inyong maaasahan. Coach Miranda Minor, ang crypto coach na inyong maaasahan. Coach Miranda Minor, sa cryptocurrency kayo'y gagabayan. Coach Miranda Minor, hangarin na lahat ay matulungan. Pagmamahal at culture of malasakit sa kanya'y mararamdaman.
Maraming salamat guys, I love you 3000.
This is the Global Miranda Minor Group, our home of the culture of Malasakit. This is the Global Miranda Minor Group, our home of the culture of Malasakit. This is the Global Miranda Minor Group, our home of the culture of Malasakit. This is the Global Miranda Minor Group, our home of the culture of Malasakit. Subscribe, like, follow, and share. Sige na please, Miranda. Subscribe, like, follow, and share. Sige na please, Miranda. Subscribe, like, follow, and share. Sige na please, Miranda.
Coach Miranda Minor, ang crypto coach na inyong maaasahan. Coach Miranda Minor, sa cryptocurrency kayo'y gagabayan. Coach Miranda Minor, hangarin na lahat ay matulungan. Pagmamahal at culture of malasakit sa kanya'y mararamdaman.
Maraming salamat guys, I love you 3000.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you the one and only, the voice that introduced Pitikin Kita sa Ilong, isang hampas na lang ng palakol, the power of yet. Please, let's give it up
to our pambansang crypto coach, Coach Miranda Minor.
Coach Miranda Minor.
Good morning, good evening, isang magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. My name is Coach Miranda Minor and welcome to another edition of our cryptocurrency technical analysis fundamentals, exclusive interviews, and everything about crypto all in one channel. Hello mga kameranda, welcome. Ayun.
Ikaw ay nakikinig kay Coach Miranda Minor sa Daily Crypto Live.
Kamusta ka naman, Kamiranda? I hope you're all doing well tonight. We have a very special guest for tonight, no? Ito po ay ating mainstay legal advisor, so to speak, or ating talagang pinagkakatiwalaang legal expert, no? Pagdating po sa cryptocurrency, none other than our friend, no? Atty Rafael Padilla. But before that, of course, pag-usapan muna natin ang ating mga maiinit na mga crypto prices, no? And of course, kung meron tayong time technical charting. But before that, of course, I would like to greet each and every one of you. Isa pong magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. December 29, 9:03 ng gabi, Kamiranda.
Ikaw ay nakikinig kay Coach Miranda Minor sa Daily Crypto Live.
All right. Okay, before so at least we could already start our program, no? Let's already start to go on and review our coin prices for today. Let's do this.
A quick review of our top 10 coin prices, fundamentals, and macros brought to us by the Global Miranda Minor Research Group.
Alright, isang magandang gabi ulit sa mga nasa Facebook and also in YouTube. Welcome to our episode for tonight. Okay, simulan na po natin, Kamiranda. Bitcoin, 42,869. Ethereum at 2,366. BNB, $320. Umaakit na po, no? Solana, 107. Profit-taking pa din yan. XRP at 0.6323. Cardano at 0.6215. Okay. AVAX 41.6. Dogecoin at 0.09262. Polkadot at 851. Polygon Matic staying at 1.01 above 1.0 level. TRX 1064. Chainlink 1611. Toncoin 226. SHIB Inu at 1067. Litecoin 7637. DAI at flat at 1.0. BCH at 261. Talagang umariba pa akyat to Wow. Uniswap at 761 mga Kamiranda. Of course, it's for GRT at 0.1894. Yan, 0.1894 mga Kamiranda. Alright, okay. So, after that, Kamiranda, puntahan naman natin ang takbo ng ating technical analysis real quick before tayo paunlakan ng interview ng ating special na guest for tonight. Let's now do this.
A technical analysis for the crypto market traders live with Coach Miranda Minor.
Alright, okay, from a technical perspective, talagang nirerespeto pa din ng ating coin yung nilagay ni Coach na 618 area within this area. Tapos, nirespeto niya yung 618. There's actually a 618 somewhere here. So, kahapon, habang 43,700, meron po siyang nirespetong actually, if I'm going to put that somewhere here, yan po ay 618 area. But if you're going to put it somewhere here, updated na po siya, it's actually within 78.6 area na po siya. 78.6 na po ang kanyang nirerespeto. However, we need to remember that this coin, kung gagamitin yung ating Fibonacci's from swing low to swing high, talagang meron siyang pagrespeto doon sa 786 natin mga kameranda. So from a pure technician perspective, itong market, no, huwag niyong kalimutan kameranda na ngayon po ang deadline ng pagtanggap, no, ng United States SEC sa mga final application, no, or S1 amendment, no, S1 amendment, which basically means kailangan na daw po, no, according to our sources, na ipadala ng or i-file ang latest amendment sa S1 filing ng mga nag-file tulad ng ARK Invest, iShares, no, etc. They need to be able to plug in their respective amendments, which include, no, US SEC is a bit prescriptive on, no, ilagay daw dyan yung in-cash redemptions at wala daw sila makikitang kahit anong in-kind redemptions, otherwise it might get disapproved, no, according to our sources, no. So yan, so from a pure TA perspective kameranda, tandaan po natin that there is still within ito, no, may pag-recover agad kahit nag-confirm ng TLSBD sinalo ng 618 area kasi medyo mahaba-haba po yung ating support. Pero technically, we're still within, kung tatapos na to kameranda, no, tanggalin ko na yan, we're still within the big consolidation phase, no, technically. So, we're waiting for today. Sana po, no, ay magpasa ang iShares, otherwise bagsak po ang market, no. If this market does not see an application or amendment forwarded by iShares, then therefore magulo po ang market tonight or this morning. Can you please type number 1 kung naiintindihan niyo po yan, Kamiranda?
Ikaw ay nakikinig kay Coach Miranda Minor sa Daily Crypto Live.
All right, okay, let's now do this, Kamiranda. So our topic for tonight is kuhaan natin po, no, ng opinion ang ating expert guest for tonight. Because, no, alam mo, syempre, almost a month ago, nagkaroon ng pronouncements ang Philippines Securities and Exchange Commission that apparently they have plans to block the access of Binance in the Philippines. So pag-usapan po natin ang ating mainit na topic for tonight. Let's all discuss all of the worthy issues ngayon sa ating market. This is Coach Miranda Minor Reacts. Tutok na! Ladies and gentlemen, according to the most recent pronouncements, no, coming from the Philippines SEC, the Philippine government regulator is moving to ban the access of Filipinos in the Philippines access to Binance. No, so let's all watch this quick news coming from ANC Digital. Let's all watch this, Kamiranda.
Authorized activities in the country. A Tuesday notice by the Securities and Exchange Commission said Binance has not been cleared to sell or offer securities in the Philippines. It said it will request a ban on the use of the platform from relevant government agencies. The move is expected to take effect in 3 months to give Filipino investors time to withdraw their investments. Recruiters and dealers of
Okay, so with that said, Kamiranda, according to that particular news, meron daw po, no, na move to ban Binance in the Philippines. But the big question remains, can they do that? No, can they do that at is it something that they can actually do? So we have actually invited our guests for tonight. Attorney, how are you?
Coach, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas also to the Miranda Minor community. I hope you're enjoying the holiday break, and may I already greet them in advance. No? I wish you all a prosperous and bullish 2024.
Woohoo! Bullish, ang sarap naman ng greeting mo. Maka-bullish sa attorney, no? Bullish.
Saan ko na ngayon? Oo.
Baka naman gusto mo kong bulungan. Meron ka bang alam? Bullish, no? Kamusta ang iyong pamilya? How's everyone doing so far?
Well, we're just resting really this holiday break. Ayaw naming sumabay sa Christmas rush, but we're already scheduling some trips after the after Christmas break.
Attorney, matanong ko lang, no, again, out of topic. Pag ganitong Christmas period, nakabakasyon ba normally ang mga judge? Or naka-recess din ba yan?
Yes, no, except for some urgent matters, but yes.
Kasi I know the Supreme Court judges all somehow will go in Baguio on December, di ba?
Nagbe-break din naman sila. But in urgent, exigent circumstances, no, courts are still available to address some urgent issues.
That's nice. All right, speaking of our issues, pag-usapan natin ng attorney, no? So, of course, almost a month ago, there's obviously a memorandum that came out from the Philippines SEC. Sinasabi po niya that no, they're actually making a very strong statement about Binance. And the first, well, one of the things that we need to consider discussing on that memo is ipapaban, no, si Binance in the Philippines. And I know I've seen a very well-written article coming from you most recently, and I thought we need to discuss that with Mirandas. At let's try to simplify it for everyone, no? So, gusto ko lang maintindihan, attorney, based on that particular article that you wrote and Bitpinas has published, sabi doon that without a court order, okay, so SEC is requesting the National Telecommunications Commission or NTC to block the access of Filipinos in www.binance.com. And you said that they cannot do that without a court order. Talk to us about that. Give us more insights. Give us, legal precedents to support this from an argument perspective. Meron na ba ganitong decision before, attorney? And please educate us.
So I think the important starting point for the discussion is to remember that our government, no, including our financial regulators, have limited powers. And that makes a lot of sense because you don't want government to have broad and undefined powers because as some of you might be familiar, yung saying na power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely, di ba? Lord Acton. So the way we design the government is limited ang powers. And the powers of a government agency such as the Securities and Exchange Commission or even the National Telecommunications Commission or the Department of Information, Communications and Technology are narrowed down and enumerated by the laws that created those agencies. And that's only the scope of their power. Beyond that, if they want to obtain some remedies to assist them in their enforcement actions, they will have to secure court order for that. Because remember also, we have this principle of separation of powers in our government. A government agency that exercises executive power cannot perform some judicial functions. Some of these judicial functions are determination of probable cause, as for instance in cases of whether a search would be or a seizure would be reasonable under the circumstances. Meron kasi tayo sa Constitution, kung naalala natin when we study the Constitution, sa Bill of Rights, the so-called right against unreasonable searches and seizure. And in one interesting case, the Sini versus Secretary of Justice, which was mentioned in the article I wrote and contributed to Bitpinas, this concerned kasi yung provision under the Cybercrime Prevention Act. There was a provision there that authorized the Department of Justice to issue blocking orders to basically restrict or block access to computer data, which is a broad term that could cover websites and any online content. According to the Supreme Court in that case, that provision of the Cybercrime Prevention Act that authorizes the Department of Justice, an executive department, to just block or restrict access is in the nature of a seizure, which this agency cannot do without a judicial warrant. No? So Congress cannot just say, now we're going to write a law that will allow the Department of Justice to do this without court warrant. And so that's why in that case, no, the Sini versus Secretary of Justice 2014 case, no, Supreme Court said Section 19 is unconstitutional.
Okay.
And therefore, should not provide a legal basis for the DOJ to just order the restriction or the blocking of access to a computer data, or again, an example of that, a website. So on the basis of this court decision, as well as guided by the principle that government agencies have limited powers, no, it is very important that we are able to pinpoint, no, saan ba sa batas sinasabi na pwedeng mag-issue ng order si SEC to block the website of a violator of a securities law. No? I think SEC understands that their authority is limited, which is exactly why they said in the public advisory that they are consulting or communicating with the National Telecommunications Commission and the DICT to determine, basically to request these agencies to order internet service providers or ISPs to block the website of Binance.com or any related website. Under the Securities Regulation Code, it is possible for the SEC to tap other government agencies for purposes of enforcing securities law.
Okay.
But the question is, okay, SEC is now approaching NTC, SEC is now approaching DICT. The next question is, does the NTC and the DICT have authority to issue blocking access orders? Block access orders, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, order ISPs to block the website, no, of Binance.com or any other unregistered offshore exchange on the ground that these websites are violating securities law. And to answer that question, you will have to check the law that created the DICT, the law that created the National Telecommunications Commission, or any other laws that have amended or expanded their powers. And as I pointed out as I mentioned in the article that I wrote, even when you read these laws, the DICT Act of 2015 or the Public Telecommunications Policy Act of the Philippines, insofar as the NTC is concerned, you will not find that provision. Therefore, on the basis of the case of Dicini versus Secretary of Justice and our inability to find a provision under the law that says that SEC can do this, order ISPs or in relation or in coordination with the NTC and the DACT, we cannot say, or we just really cannot find a legal basis for the SEC to issue an order to block the website of Binance.com.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that they cannot entirely do this some other ways.
Yeah.
Because there is a way for them to do it. And I have already said also in the article how they can do it.
Before we go there, attorney, yes. So you're saying that obviously SEC in their security code can tap other government agencies. However, what you're saying is even NTC on that the law that created them, right? You're saying that they themselves cannot do that, no? So in terms of obviously getting that authority to block access orders, I'm just curious. So isn't it potentially that the law is something that we need or they need to amend? So at least yung mga quote-unquote ongoing potential issues ma-address agad, no, without a court order. Or do you think that to the point pronounced by the Supreme Court, dapat yung mga ganyan talagang nakasettle lang. I mean, talagang ina-address lang ng isang court order.
Okay. So in relation to your first question, do we need to amend the law? Okay, it's a policy question, and I find it difficult to answer that question from a policy perspective.
Okay.
And I can only commiserate sa ating mga lawmakers and policymakers in figuring this out. Will be very challenging. But from a legal standpoint, mukhang mahirap ma-justify kahit may batas na ganon. Because this is exactly the lesson that we learned in the case of Dicini versus Secretary of Justice. The blocking order, a block access order, is in the nature of a seizure. And under the Constitution, under Article 3, Section 2 of the Constitution, you can only do that, okay, seize something, in this case, a website, by virtue of a court warrant. Cannot just be ordered by an administrative agency.
Got it. So even if it's international website, wala siyang difference, attorney.
Yeah, kasi if it's an international website, then it's the same thing. What's the basis? And that is still there is still a constitutional question on the basis of their constitutional right against unreasonable searches and seizures.
And on that note, given that Binance is an international platform, I'm assuming may mga legal complexities or challenges in enforcing regulatory actions. Or kapag Philippines-based, kaya namang i-manage ng NTC yan, diba? Kumbaga, ang pinag-uusapan natin dito is, lilinawin ko lang, and maybe attorney can answer this, no? Ang pinagbabawalan ba is yung mga Pilipino na nag-a-access ng site in the Philippines, kasi global tayo eh. Or ito ba yung mga Pilipino nakatira sa Taiwan, nag-a-access ng Binance? I don't think the problem is that. The problem is Filipinos within the Philippines because NTC has no power to block IP addresses in Taiwan. It's beyond jurisdiction. Am I not correct?
Yeah, I don't I can't really speak on the technical implications of that. But because actually ang gagawin lang naman ni NTC dito is to order ISPs eh. The NTC does not have the technical infrastructure to actually implement the blocking. What they will do is to order ISPs to block those websites.
Therefore, if it's a Taiwan-based ISP, they cannot order them, isn't it?
No, they cannot order the Taiwan ISP. They will order only the Philippine-based ISPs.
Which goes back to our point earlier, potentially, pinag-uusapan lang natin is Philippines-based Filipino with ISP provided by Filipino, isn't it, attorney?
So, basically, yun nga ang gustong mangyari ni SEC. They will order, they will request NTC. NTC, can you please, could you please order the ISPs to block the website of Binance because Binance is violating securities law. And let me just say, this is an allegation on the part of the SEC. Okay. Ang sinasabi lang din natin dito is Binance is entitled to some due process. Hindi naman natin sinasabi, with due respect to the SEC, hindi naman natin sinasabi na iniimbento lang nila itong accusation or this accusation is baseless. We're not saying that. What we're saying is these are allegations. We do not know if this has been proven. And for the NTC to just block the website of Binance on the allegations of violation of securities law on the basis of what an administrative agency like SEC is alleging is irregular. I think it's irregular. And it really bypasses the nature of how we design our legal system, in which when it comes to these types of actions,
there should be due process.
It should be via court order. And tingnan mo, also please, I also invite the community, no, to compare this with enforcement actions in the United States. We have not seen in the United States the SEC just requesting the DOJ to issue, to block Binance. Or for the SEC to order, US SEC to order, no, internet service providers in the United States to block Binance. I'm not very much, for obvious reasons, I'm not an US lawyer, so I don't know fully, I'm not qualified to advise or comment that much on US laws, but from what I know is that the DOJ has the authority. Feel free to fact check this, but from what I am aware is that the Department of Justice in the United States has the authority to block websites. But the SEC will not just go to the DOJ to request the DOJ to do this. Tumadaan siya sa court.
Yeah. But in the US, to your point, attorney, which you're right, while you're talking, I checked, no? The DOJ in the US was actually able to seize 36 Iranian linked websites based on one of the news, no, 2021. So they can do it. So you're saying, in comparison,
hindi ko lang alam, Coach, no, but again, this is something that we can check, is whether in the US it requires some court order or si DOJ na directly. I'm not aware of that. To be honest with you, I'm not sure. Pero from what I know is DOJ can do it.
Got it.
Yes. US DOJ. Okay.
But I mean, just on that, no, since pinag-uusapan natin yan, wala rin ako maalala that the US SEC asked to block Binance.US access eh. Kahit na they themselves is saying they're not registered. Am I not correct? I mean, meron ba na alalang request sila?
So I also checked that point, no, in the process of researching this, kasi naalala mo, itong discussion natin ngayon, Coach, this is a postscript of what we discussed last time eh.
You're right.
Remember before, I just floated the issue. I can really suspect that there's a problem, but I had to check. And so I studied it, no? And yun din yung tinitingnan ko, in the US ba, nire-request ba nila sa court na i-block yung website? Not explicitly, wala, hindi mo mababasa doon sa mga complaints, pero merong order requesting the court to issue injunction.
Okay.
And necessarily that injunction will have to block, no? Actually, the way that works is it will order Binance to stop or to stop operating Binance.com within the United States. And actually, the here in the Philippines, the SEC can also do that.
But attorney, sorry.
Can I just clarify this important point, Coach?
Yeah.
Very important, no? SEC cannot issue blocking access order or order the ISPs to block the websites. To order ISPs to block Binance.com website, no? But what the SEC can do is it can issue a cease and desist order against Binance to tell them stop operating Binance.com in the Philippines. They can do that. I think ang concern ng SEC is susundin ba yan ni Binance?
No? Correct.
And I think merong cynicism whether Binance will comply with that. But I think, in fairness to Binance, no, the SEC should give Binance the benefit of the doubt that once it issues a cease and desist order, Binance will comply. No? And I think that should be the proper process. Instead of ordering ISPs to block the website of Binance.com, all right, SEC should order Binance to cease and desist from operating Binance.com within the Philippines. So, sorry, Coach, you wanted to say something.
I was just about to clarify earlier. When you say injunction, that was a regular injunction to, when you say injunction, stop eh. There's operative word stop, diba? So technically, pag sinabing injunction, do they need to specifically request, since it's an online operations, injunction in terms of online, or the word injunction means general enough to stop operations?
Yeah, because it's telling you, stop operating,
Yeah.
injunction.
Yeah.
Yung one of the players sabi doon. And by the way, this can be the subject of an interim relief such as a temporary restraining order. Hindi kailangang matapos yung kaso, no? Pwede silang mag-request ng temporary restraining order for that, no? But basically it's telling you stop. What does that mean? Stop from offering this securities or what is alleged to be a security here in the Philippines. Two things. If it's just a TRO, syempre hindi pa naman napuprove na securities yon. Pero siguro according to the court, upon assessment of the case, mukhang may probable cause, no, na baka securities to. So, i-grant natin yung injunction. Stop from operating in the Philippines, which means wag mong i-operate yung website mo. Also
Pero
here in the
can they
Philippines,
do
no?
that? Can they do that on the aspect? Okay, so I'm just trying to think about existing cases today. Case in point, for example, and again, I don't want to sound political here, no. SMNI, 'di ba? SMNI, they were given a penalty by NTC, so their franchise was stopped. So people were asking, hoy, teka lang, ba't ka naman in-stop yung franchise? Blah, 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 blah. Maraming nagsasabing maling-mali yung ginawa nyo. So can SEC do that? Can NTC do that? We're penalizing you to stop operations, ganyan, and therefore block yung access on the concept of penalty. Kumbaga suspension. MTRCB did the same. So nag-stop yung operations ng SMNI, blah blah blah. But I'm not sure because it's a website this time eh. So can they do that on the clause of pa-penalize ka namin, stop yung operations? Pero hindi mo na kailangan ng court order. And in this case, SMNI, they did not get a court order, isn't it?
Oo. But that's different kasi NTC has that authority.
But can NTC do the same, attorney, for Binance.com?
Okay, different. No, they cannot.
Okay.
And where lies the difference? The difference is this. In SMNI, what's involved is a franchise,
Okay.
which is a government grant. No, they even do not own that. No, SMNI does not own that franchise.
But to that point, so it's a franchise. There's a law that created the franchise. And again, I don't want to digress the topic, right? But it's a law, right? So the more that they have the right, at least, to be heard first, and then before you make a suspension. But in this case, they were suspended without a court order. So can they do that? Or go ahead.
Yeah, that's possible. Kasi even in the context of CDOs or cease and desist order, no, pwede yan na initially walang hearing. Ang reason dyan, kasi CDOs or cease and desist orders are designed to address an urgent matter. Okay, pero mangyayari dyan, okay, hindi muna namin kayo papakinggan kasi importante na ma-issue namin tong order na to, but you have a remedy to request for the lifting of that.
I think they already filed for an appeal in the Court of Appeals.
Not yet.
Okay.
Pwede dito pa lang in the case of NTC or in the case of SEC. So mangyari, ito nga yung and coach, hindi naman natin sinasabi lilinawin ko lang, hindi ko naman sinasabi na dapat isyuhan yung cease and desist order.
We're just talking about the case,
Sabi ko lang, ano kaya yung mas appropriate na approach that should have been undertaken by the SEC? And again, with due respect to our commissioners at the SEC, syempre hindi naman ako commissioner, I'm just commenting on this as an outsider. I think in the interest of not just in the interest of fairness, having the interest of both sides, so government, the securities regulator, investor protection, Binance on the other hand, their right to property, their property interest, na ang ginawa dapat ni SEC issue ng cease and desist order. Hindi kailangan CSE.
Okay, attorney, teka lang meron lang tayong technical difficulties. Let's pause for a second. Medyo may delay in the audio. But let's pause for a second, Miranda. I'll be right back with a quick commercial break. Just give me a second.
Coach Miranda Minor, ang crypto coach na inyong maaasahan. Coach Miranda Minor, sa cryptocurrency kayo'y gagabayan. Coach Miranda Minor, hangarin na lahat ay matulungan. Pagmamahal at culture of malasakit sa kanya'y mararamdaman.
Maraming salamat guys. I love you 3000. All right, you're still listening with Coach Miranda Minor. We still have our special guest for tonight, no? Talagang grabe ka, Miranda. Year-ender na, nagtatrabaho pa din po kami dahil ikaw po ang aming mahal at priority. Grabe.
Ikaw ay nakikinig kay Coach Miranda Minor sa Daily Crypto Live.
Okay, balik, let's go back to our interview. All right. Give me a second. There you go, attorney. Can you hear us now? Can you try to speak?
Yes,
Okay.
Coach.
All right, sige, please.
I can hear you,
I
Coach.
need to interrupt you yung ating pinag-uusapan kanina, di ba? So, as well, for lack of better comparison, at least for me in my own humble opinion, hindi naman kumuha ng court order dyan sa suspension ng SMNI. So, can they do the same? Ano ba yung mga, to your point kanina, ano ba yung potential relief or alternative solutions that you think SEC can do from an outsider perspective? Please go ahead.
So, SEC can issue a cease and desist order. Okay, and they don't have to hear Binance before they can issue that cease and desist order. Basically telling Binance to stop, okay, operating Binance.com in the Philippines, stop from making it available in the Philippines. Okay. Then, Binance will have 5 days upon issuance of the order to request for the lifting of the CDO. And then, once SEC receives that, no, it will now schedule a hearing to resolve the matter on whether the CDO will be lifted. And then this is the time where SEC would have to hear Binance. And SEC will rule on that request. Okay, if the SEC decides to lift the CDO, then that's probably the end of it. No, that's a positive result for Binance. But if the SEC decides to maintain the cease and desist order, ang next na remedy dyan ni Binance is to go to the Court of Appeals. Ito na yung sinasabi Coach, na pupunta ngayon si Binance sa Court of Appeals. And I noted doon sa chat yata na doon daw sa case ng SMNI, pumunta na daw yung mga lawyers sa Court of Appeals. So similarly, ganon. Pero ang sinasabi lang natin, may remedy pa kay SEC. May requesting for the lifting of the CDO, no? 5 days upon receipt of the CDO.
Okay, got it. Understood. Okay. So, siguro lipat tayo sa kabilang question natin. So, all right. So, yung Dicini versus DOJ. So, to your point, Section 19 of the Cybercrime Prevention Act, it was unconstitutional, no? Do you think that, or I mean, why do you think that there is a similarity between this and this particular case of Binance? Potentially, pwede bang different kasi there is a quote-unquote investor protection na pinag-uusapan dito versus just a regular cybercrime issue?
Oo. I don't think that there should be a difference, Coach Miranda Minor. Kasi, I think it's safe to assume that this initiative of the SEC is well intentioned. We do not question. Now, as far as I am concerned, I will not question the motives of the SEC. That they're doing this in good faith.
Yeah.
But just because you're doing it in good faith does not mean that you are observing the law. Or you are not encroaching or overreaching your authority. As I've said earlier when we started, the powers of government agencies here in the Philippines are limited. Hindi naman tayo totalitarian regimes eh. Hindi naman tayo katulad ng China eh. Ang kapangyarihan ng gobyerno sa atin ay limitado lamang
Oo.
sa kung ano sinasabi sa batas.
Mm-mm.
Diyan mo maririnig maraming lawyers sinasabi, ours is a government of laws and not of men. That is exactly what the rule of law means. And so, I don't see much difference by saying na ito, ang purpose natin dito is investor protection, then therefore, dapat i-allow si NTC to order the ISPs to block the website of Binance.com.
Yeah.
The purpose is legitimate, but the fact is, okay, we cannot find a legal authority, a statutory authority for the NTC to do that.
Mm-hmm. So attorney, let's look now. Let's go step 2, step 3. So what, for example, number one. Okay, no one questions it. NTC blocks it. Do we wait for someone to go to CA and challenge that action? Because again, naalala ko, no, meron ng ito, I mean, just me being an observer in the Philippines, meron ng Supreme Court order na pinapastop yung immigration order ni at that time SOJ De Lima. Hindi sinunod, 'di ba? So, possibility, pwede pa ting gawin ng NTC yung gusto nila tingin nilang tama. That's number 1. Is that possible? Number 2, pag nangyari man yon, then we're waiting for someone to challenge and question them on the court. Am I not correct?
Yes. So you're correct. In practical terms, nothing stop. It is possible for the NTC to still proceed to issue the order, even if they don't have legal authority. But the question is, especially those affected parties, particularly Binance, are they just gonna let the NTC issue this order? Or would they elevate the case to the court to request the court to invalidate the action of the NTC? And I would like to remind that this actually happened before, diba? In sometime in June 2022, when the NTC issued an order to the ISPs to block websites of certain blog sites that are associated daw sa mga communist leaning movement, communist movement. And sinasabi naman ng NTC, and this was requested by another government agency, was a very long name na it's an alphabet soup of name, but basically the function of that government agency is to basically suppress the communist movement in the Philippines. Sinasabi,
letter N, nagsisimula sa letter N. Yun na yun.
Ang haba.
NTFL-CAC, oo.
Whatever. Yun ang sinasabi nila. These are terrorists.
But they were, in short, they were never stopped, isn't it, attorney? They did not follow yung mga ISPs.
Oo, hindi pa rin na-stop ng ano.
Gotcha.
And that also raised the controversy. If you remember our discussion last time, sinabi ko na may mga legal luminaries such as former Associate Justice Carpio and even the Integrated Bar of the Philippines, along with other human rights group who have echoed strong resistance against that action of the NTC. Understanding that the NTC cannot just do that without statutory authority.
Okay, so you're saying talagang pwede nilang gawin, but someone can challenge them on the court, no? But unless someone challenges them, but to your point, hindi naman, they will not take this on sitting, Binance. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So from a go forward perspective, based on that news article from ANC, we're given 90 days. So technically around February, there should be some muscle movements here, so to speak, no? In terms of quote-unquote investor protection. Ano ang foresight mo dito? What's gonna be, what do you think may potentially happen, no? Based on your research on the inner workings of SEC. So technically, ngayon nag-warning na para ma-withdraw daw according to that news. Filipino, withdraw your money, 90 days, papablock namin yan. But again, to your point, they need a court order. Kung walang dumating na court order, binalak pa din, at while waiting for someone to challenge them on the court, technically, walang access ang Pilipinas.
Oo.
And what are the potential permutations? Ano yung potential na pwedeng mangyari pa dito? Bukod sa broad daylight, nakikita natin, bablock ka namin. Ganun lang ba kadali yun? Attorney, ano pa ang mga potential things that we need to consider?
Yun nga yung so it will be interesting to see whether, and later maybe I can share my thoughts on my projections on whether SEC along with the NTC will succeed. No?
Yeah,
But let me
please go ahead. Yeah. That's
first, let me say this. It will be interesting to see whether the SEC will be able to actually do this, right, along with the NTC. In other words, are we going to see a scenario where the NTC will order the ISPs to block Binance.com? Okay. Second, it will also be interesting to see whether when the NTC issues that order, will the ISPs, Internet Service Provider, comply with the order? Or will they also raise the legal issue in court? Na NTC, why are you ordering us to block the website of Binance.com or other unregistered crypto exchanges in the Philippines? No? So that's a possible scenario also na ang mag-raise ng issue, mga ISPs. Lastly, it is also possible to see a scenario wherein na-order nag-order si NTC sa mga ISPs, block Binance.com, okay, yun nga pala kanina sinasabi natin, maybe we will see Binance.com resist this, file a case in court to question the order of the NTC. But what if the Binance does not do anything? Meron ng order sa mga ISPs galing kay NTC at inimplement na yan ng mga ISPs. Ito ang pinaka-interesting sa akin. Kung may order na from NTC at inimplement na yan ng mga ISPs, ano ang gagawin ng mga Philippine users to work around the restriction or the blocking? It will be interesting to see that kasi mangyayari dito, we may have a government agency who orders, basically who gives these orders, but at the end of the day, it might not be able to actually enforce it through some workarounds that users can avail of themselves.
Yeah.
And that has been floated many times. Palaging tinatanong, pwede ba mag-VPN na lang tayo? Yun ang mga madalas na And it will be really interesting to see kung kahit naka-block na ang Binance.com here in the Philippines, will Binance remain to be the market leader here in the Philippines?
Yeah. Pag market leader, ibig sabihin, may nag-a-access pa din.
At marami.
Marami. Oo.
Kasi market leader, ikaw pa rin ang number one. Ikaw pa rin ang dominant. And will be interesting because that's going to be also an important case study na yung gobyerno natin sinasabi, this is for investor protection. We'll block this website. But are the people following them actually?
But I mean,
are the people deciding that for...
Yeah, so just on that, I'm sure SEC has the wisdom and experience then on obviously, doing some surveillance, so to speak, Bakit Binance lang? Ang dami-dami naman diyang mga exchanges, But is it something that's in your radar that will also come, or unless magkaroon ng issue in the US, carbon copy tayo in the US?
Yeah, I think that's very easy to answer, and we've addressed that question in our previous live stream, Coach. One is basically it's like striking while the iron is hot because of the enforcement action in the United States. Second, Binance is the market leader here in the Philippines. In Bitpinas podcast, I even mentioned, and I don't have evidence on this, or I don't have statistics or data. What I only have is anecdotal evidence that it might be safe to say that as early as 2018, Binance is already the market leader here in the Philippines. And that's 5 years ago, which can tell you that Binance has been the #1 exchange, an unregulated, unlicensed exchange here in the Philippines for the past 5 years. Might be really high time for the SEC to enforce, starting with the market leader.
So you're saying, so more memos will come out with the name of other exchanges naman?
Ang nagsabi yata nun is si Commissioner Kelvin Lee. And I don't see why the SEC cannot do that. They would start with Binance first to give example, all right, to the industry, to the market, but it's reasonable to assume that there will be succeeding advisories against other unregistered offshore exchanges in the Philippines.
Got it. So let's now go to one of the highlights of this interview, no? Kanina sabi natin, yung mga permutations mo, attorney, no, is, number one, will ISP even raise the issue that, hey, kahit utusan mo ko, I will not block it kasi of some precedents na kailangan magkaroon ng court order. NTC to order ISP to block Binance.com, but will ISP follow them? Question din yon. Will Binance, kunyari na-enforce na to, will Binance just, continue to operate this or not acknowledging, the authority? So with all of that, ang aking tanong lang talaga is, ano ang probability that ito ay pag challenge sa court, mananalo ba sa court itong order na to? Ano tingin mong percentage of winning dito nila, attorney?
In other words, Coach, to reframe your question, kung mananalo ba ang gobyerno?
Oo, kung mananalo ba. Pero sagutin mo yan pagkatapos ng quick commercial lang. Wait lang, Miranda, wait lang.
Coach Miranda Minor, ang crypto coach na inyong maaasahan. Coach Miranda Minor, sa cryptocurrency kayo'y gagabayan. Coach Miranda Minor, hangarin na lahat ay matulungan. Pagmamahal at culture of malasakit sa kanya'y mararamdaman.
Maraming salamat guys. I love you 3,000. Alright, ito na po. Mabilis na commercial yon. Tanungin na natin si attorney. Okay. Attorney, kailangan namin ang inyong legal power. Legal lens. Ano ba? Mananalo ba tong DOJ? Mananalo ba si NTC, SEC? Anong tingin mo, attorney? Go ahead.
On first impression, mahirap para sa akin mahirap yung kaso ng SEC. In other words, mukhang at anong NTC. In my view, mahihirapan silang ilusot yan sa Court of Appeals o kung makarating man tayo sa Supreme Court. Pero hindi ko mape-predict absolutely ang results. Importante din dyan, magaling yung abogado dapat.
Bakit? Ba't hindi nila malulusot yan?
O dapat parang katulad sa grayscale, di ba? Ang galing, magaling talaga yon. Ang dami nga nag-speculate na hindi mananalo si grayscale against the SEC.
Alam mo ba't nanalo grayscale, attorney?
Trial, nakikita na nila, napoproject na nila na mukhang mananalo si grayscale. Kaya si BlackRock, who is closely monitoring that development, urgently filed.
Nag-urgent na. Pero do you know, meron akong inside info dyan, ba't ang galing ng grayscale?
Well, maraming factors. Magagaling yung mga lawyers nila.
Bakit magagaling yung lawyers nila?
Magagaling talaga. At saka marami doon sa mga lawyers na to, nag-specialize in challenging government orders.
And some of them came from SEC, mga former bosses dyan sa SEC din, na nag-retire na private practice, kinuha ng grayscale apparently.
Maybe, pero on the merits, talaga. It makes a lot. At saka magaling yung pagkaka-frame nila ng mga arguments doon.
So going to the question, so merits. Pero talking dapat magaling yung abogado. Pero is it because of what you said earlier, yung mga dinala na sa court. The court is going to make a decision, but why are they going to lose the case?
No, I'm just saying, Coach, na mahirap masabi sa akin. Like ngayon, Coach, hindi pa rin natin alam kung ano talaga ang basis ng authority nila. Hindi naman nila sinasabi yun sa advisory.
Investor protection, hindi raw rehistrado. Ganun lang.
That's the purpose, but that's not the statutory authority. That's not the grant of the power. The Securities Regulation Code did not say something explicit that they can order the blocking of websites.
Yes.
And is that something that we can imply from the powers that's been granted under the Securities Regulation Code? Kasi may mga powers na express
Right.
May mga powers na implied.
Got it.
Kahit hindi kalagay expressly. Pwede bang i-imply? Debatable. Debatable. But ito ang sigurado ako. May precedent tayo. Tisini versus Secretary of Justice. You cannot just block website or in that case, yung content data na hindi na-violate yung right against unreasonable searches and seizure.
Attorney, so given na nga na nag-file na sila sa court, kahit na i-file na yan, what you're saying now to Arca Miranda, tatagalugin natin, sinasabi ni attorney na mahirap makalusot yan kasi hindi naman trabaho ng SEC na magpasara ng website at medyo malabnaw yung argument na ito ay makaka-apekto sa investor something. Can you confirm that, attorney?
Yes, that's correct. And kung gusto nila talagang i-block ang website, pwede, pero pupunta sila sa court.
And the court cannot just say yes because of the arguments you just said.
That's why courts are there kasi syempre there are peculiar circumstances as well. So it's maybe there's a possibility kasi I'll give you also another precedent na by way of exception allowed yung blocking ng websites, no? When it comes to child pornography, and we've talked about it this last time, at saka yung online sexual abuse and exploitation of children, we have a law, no? In those laws, one is the Child Pornography Act of 2009, the other is yung online sexual abuse and exploitation of children. Nahaba ng pangalan. But a law that was enacted last year lang, ino-authorize ang NTC to order ISPs to block websites, no, na merong content na nagko-contain ng child pornography. And when it comes to that, if you ask me, Coach, under the circumstances of the case, I think it is reasonable.
Yes, oo.
And I say this as a basis in saying that maybe may chance si SEC to be able to convince the court na under the circumstances dapat i-allow din yung blocking ng website kahit walang court order. But in my assessment, Coach, mahirap kasi i-compare mo yung yung public interest, also yung impact to to the public, no, nung child pornography versus
hindi siya apples to apples, hindi siya parehas. Okay.
Oo, parang I think we will have consensus, no, that it is reasonable to authorize the NTC to block websites, order ISPs to block websites when it comes to child pornography. Pero when it comes to investor protection lang, mukhang magdedebate pa tayo diyan. And that's why we have courts as well to settle these issues. Then punta na lang tayo sa court. Rather than SEC, an administrative agency, unilaterally ordering market participants to block its website. At saka kaklaruhin ko lang, Coach, wala pang cease and desist order. Advisory pa lang. So what's the basis of blocking the website? Where's the cause of action? I would just also like to remind that under section, and this one with due respect to the SEC, I would just like to remind that section 64.2 of the Securities Regulation Code requires them to actually keep things confidential when it comes to investigation. No? Let me read this verbatim. No? 64.2. Until the Commission issues a cease and desist order, the fact that an investigation has been initiated or that a complaint has been filed, including the contents of the complaint, shall be confidential. And with this press releases, advisories, now we will block web. So safe to say that they're doing investigation. And we should commend SEC from doing that. But I think we should remind them also, 64.2 requires them, the law requires them to keep these things confidential until a cease and desist order has been issued.
Got it. Yeah, I'm opening
So,
64.2. Correct.
dapat
Okay.
may mag-ingat din ng SEC dito, baka sila ang mabalikan ng
Okay.
market participants, particularly Binance.
Okay. So do you think siguro last two questions natin dito, no? I'm just although some of it you're able to answer kanina because our law is we're in the rule of law, not in the rule of man. I remember 2021 the Supreme Court in Malaysia took enforcement actions against Binance, no? I mean they called Binance in Malaysia as someone who's operating illegally, no? Based on their Capital Markets and Services Act 2007. So obviously bawal according to the Supreme Court. In Singapore, we all know this, no? That obviously there's also the similar stance of their government. However, in most recent, no, in 2023 March, sometime this year, they tried to take another opportunity to secure a license, no, after they were obviously quote unquote asked to stop operating. Tayo sa Philippines, it was as open secret, they were not approved last year but they tried. So yung argumento na they're not registered, pwede bang sabihin nila na nag-register nga kami, hindi mo kami naprubahan eh. How is that something that they can raise? Otherwise, is there a room to apply? Wala na yatang room to apply for a VASP or even VASP is for BSP. SEC to be registered. Ano yung potentially pwedeng gawin naman ng Binance para at least mailaban nila for the people who are using their exchange, attorney?
Okay, Coach, bago ko sagutin yung tanong na yan, let me just remind that since we started this live stream, we were focusing on the issue on whether the government, by government I mean the SEC and the NTC can block the website of Binance.com. That's the issue we're addressing. We're not necessarily addressing the issue on whether Binance has offered securities here in the Philippines. No? Kaya ko na sabi yon is in relation ngayon doon sa tanong mo. Paano pag sinabi ni Binance na nag-register nga kami last year hindi nyo naman kami in-approve. Hindi nyo in-approve kasi yun na nga the regulator in that case BSP. May tanong pala ako, bakit kay BSP nagre-register? Okay. Ba't kay BSP nagre-register? Okay. Pero hindi na-approve ni BSP. You can see that na nagre-register ako sa'yo tapos hindi mo ko in-approve. Kung hindi ka naman qualified after the assessment of the BSP. Second, even on the assumption that it was approved by the BSP, insofar as the products that were specified in the public advisory of the SEC are concerned, kahit may VASP license ka, hindi mo ma-offer yun sa Philippines.
Which goes to the question, pero for different live stream na to ha. May mga VASP license ngayon na nag-o-offer na ng mga assets bordering to security. Huwag ka tumawa dyan, attorney, for next topic natin yung next year ha. May nakikita na ako, promise. Ang dami ko na nakikita, nag-o-offer na. Nag-o-offer na. Tingnan natin.
Yun na nga. ng topic yan for next meeting. Pero ngayon masasabi ko lang, Coach, if you'll allow me, I would just like to remind
Konti lang,
this,
huwag mong sabihin lahat ha. Konti lang,
Coach,
attorney.
hindi natin sabihin pangalan. But they know that kilala nila sarili nila. The fact that you have a BSP license does not mean that you can offer securities in the Philippines. So stop calling, don't be the pot that calls the kettle black. Di ba? Huwag niyong backstabin si Binance kung kayo mismo nag-o-offer ng securities sa Philippines.
Tama.
Di ba? Yun ang masasabi ko sa ngayon, Coach. Pero
Sige.
siguro,
Basta for separate na yan, I know you know what I'm thinking and I know what you're thinking here.
And this is not to side, Coach. Let me just clarify. I'm not siding with Binance here. I'm really trying to be impartial here. Okay. Pero ang sinasabi ko, I just don't like the fact how some of the local exchanges are since the SEC issued this advisory, started to position themselves as a Binance alternative. We're implementing this as because of a public advisory so that you can easily transfer your funds from Binance to our exchange. I just find that hypocritical if you are in your platform actually have products that are actually in the nature of the securities. Some of them even mentioned by the SEC in the public advisory against Binance. So,
alam mo, ang masarap na topic yan. Masarap na topic yan, oo.
And then, sana lang din kay SEC, reminder lang din, sinabi ko na to last time, sana in fairness again, wag lang si Binance ang tingnan din natin yung mga local exchanges. And this is not me saying na hindi naman sa nagtuturo. Ang mga local exchanges din, dapat they take guidance na.
They need to take the cue already. You're right.
Nila, nakaka-announce pa lang nila na naglabas na nga ng public advisory si SEC about some products that are in the nature of the security. Tapos makaka-receive ako sa email ko.
Hoy, ano ka ba? Bubulong ko sa'yo. Guess nga nila yung SEC. Ano ka dyan, attorney? Let's do topic na. Wala akong pinangalanan ha. Alright, anyways. So doon tayo sa...
Basta we're being objective here naman. We're not attacking anybody.
Oo.
Okay, but I'm just going to call out lang when somebody's being hypocritical.
Double standard. Diba? Isn't that the right term? Double standard sila. Anyways, we're not here to, as I've said, no, we're not gonna be, kasi they're not here in my show, so we're not gonna be naming them. Anyways, okay. So, may mga gusto lang ako basahin question dito, sabi ni mga kameranda natin. Sabi ni Bishop Crypto, attorney, meron ka na bang narinig na ginawa ng Binance in so far as the issue is concerned? Meron na ba silang, parang wala naman silang feelers? Wala naman tayong naririnig eh. Did you remember, Coach, na when the advisory was issued, naglabas sila ng official response, but they deleted that. Kinancel nila. Alam ko kasi, naalala ko, pinost pa yata sa Bitpinas yun eh. Pero kinlarify din ng Bitpinas na I think there was some mistake in the communication na niretract nila yung statement na yon. So we have not heard of anything official in terms of like insider. Ang narinig ko na rumors ito. Wala na daw silang head dito sa Philippines. I don't know how true this is. Before, meron pa silang general manager. Tapos yung mga community leaders nila yata, parang na-roll back din yata. So, I don't know. Kasi sabi lang, meron lang nagsasabi that some people daw lost jobs because of this incident. Okay, understood. So, well, kumbaga, we're just left on interpreting what those actions mean, no? But in so far as publicly stated statements, so wala in so far, no? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, may mga nagko-comment dito. All right. Paano? Teka, attorney, nag-echo lang ako from your end. Maybe meron ka monitor, pakisara na lang, attorney. Echo lang ako from your end. Maybe meron ka monitor. All right. Thank you. All right.
Okay na, boss?
Okay na, attorney. Nakita niyo na ba yung full list of BAS? Meron pa rin attorney na nag-echo pa din ako. Let's try it one more time. Ayun, okay na tayo, attorney. Thank you so much. All right, so halos wala na namang question from our Kamirandas. Mga personal opinions lang about pinag-uusapan natin. Ang sarap daw maging member ng mga Marites Club dito. Sabi naman, okay, sabi ni RC, love hearing your thoughts, attorney. Thank you. All right, maraming salamat, Kamiranda. Anong grounds bakit investor protection ng katwiran ng SEC? I might be wrong. Was it investor? I don't think it was, no? Or was it? Attorney?
Pero hindi ko masasagot, coach, kasi hindi rin nila sinasabi. Sabi lang nila investor protection. And that's like a Miss Universe answer. Kasi they should be able to specify where is the statutory grant. Can just say invokes investor protection. Marami na kaming cases pinag-aaralan namin sa law school na maganda naman yung intention ng government agency. Pero sabi ng Supreme Court, you cannot do that because ours is a government of laws, not of men. Not because you have good intention doesn't mean you can do it. We don't have legal authority to do take such action. Kaya nga, ang nire-recommend ko sana, mas alam naman ni SEC yung trabaho niya, pero hindi lang natin naririnig yung side kasi ang information na natin yung nasa public advisory. Pero ito, kung ako tatanungin, malabo yung blocking order. Okay, na kailangan pa nilang i-coordinate kay NTC. Ang klaro, they have the authority to issue a cease and desist order. And they don't need really to reinvent the wheel. Just take this traditional and effective approach that is clearly allowed by law under the Securities Regulation Code. Okay.
Pag umabot sa court, ilang tao ang mag-a-approve? It's just the judge. No, wala naman tayong jury dito. It's just the judge. If the judge issues...
Most likely kasi mangyari nito, ma-elevate to sa Court of Appeals eh.
And the majority of that division is in it.
Justices.
The particular division assigned on the Court of Appeals. All right.
Maganda nga makarating Court of Appeals tapos makarating Supreme Court sa aming mga lawyers.
Para may jurisprudence no? Yeah, you're right.
Jurisprudence.
Tama.
Ganda sa amin yan, sa mga abogado.
Correct. Okay. Sabi ni Jupe 32, Coach, to be clear, after 3-month grace period by February 2024, di ba natin ma-access ang Binance? I don't think so. Wala pa namang order. Ganun ba yun, attorney? 3 months warning na? Wala na agad ang Binance by February? I don't think so.
Ito, kikita pa natin kung titingnan pa natin kung mai-implement nila. Yung pinag-uusapan natin, coach.
So potential, so posible. So posibleng wala na by Feb.
Gusto mo pustahan tayo, coach?
Sige,
for fun.
pustahan tayo. Pero hindi ko pupusta wallet ko. Marami akong pera. Joke. Ano?
Sige. Ay, pero nahiya na ako sa'yo, coach, kasi yung ibang prediction ko.
Hindi, okay lang. Basta kailangan marinig namin. Di ba type number 1 ka, Miranda? Sige, guloy niyo si attorney.
Sabi ko before the year ends, may Bitcoin ETF na tayo. O hindi naman nangyari. Sabi ko baka by December, meron ng CDO against Binance, hindi nangyari. Baka hindi ako tumama dito. Pero tingin ko by February or end of the deadline, hindi may issue yung blocking order. Yung order sa mga ISPs to block the website. In other words, hindi mai-implement.
Okay.
I mean, I would like to support the SEC in their enforcement action. No, I just think that there's an appropriate route for that. But insofar as this blocking access order is concerned, no, itong initiative na to, I think this will not be implemented.
This will not. Okay.
And I hope this serves as a guidance din. Kasi 'di ba, nag-create siya ng fear, uncertainty and doubt eh. Ngayon, it's very confusing to the market. And I wonder whether this is I know the SEC is well-intentioned, but I'm really wondering whether this is counterproductive. Instead of supporting investor protection, this confusion, no, na mabablock ng website by February, could have harmful effect pa sa local market. Ang daming nag-aalala. Baka mamaya ang dami nang nagbebenta ng mga crypto nila kasi mabablock na pala sa Philippines. Pa-bull market pa naman tayo.
Yun nga eh.
Benta ka
diba?
ng maaga kasi mabablock ang Binance sa Philippines.
Oo, yung mga dito nag-hold. Marami dito nag-hold in 2 years na eh. Oo. So, attorney, sorry to interrupt you. Sabi dito,
Philippines System to Investor Protection. Hindi naman sa nagbibigay tayo ng financial advice on what's going to be the market forecast later this year. Pero what if that is the scenario? Marami sa ating mga community nawala na ng kumpiyansa sa market. Benta ko na lang yung crypto ko. Kasi di ba? Bablock na yung Binance eh. Tapos pag March, di ba? Di ba? Full or May perhaps or June, di ba? Nag-bull market na. Kawawa naman
hindi
yung
investor
mga
protection, naging investor destruction if ever. So, Coach, attorney, sabi dito ni Jack Burns, is there a way, I would like to answer this question. Sabi niya, is there any chance na pag nakarating sa court, magsama-sama ang mga traders sa Pinas to appeal? May chance kaya na magbakinggan through petition na wag mablock?
Let me just say it is possible, but we have to build that case. It will not be that simple to convince the court that local traders, are proper party to question this blocking access order. It will take some effort. I'm just saying right now that it is possible, and we will have to develop the legal arguments to support that position na tayong mga traders have been adversely affected by this SEC order or by this SEC advisory. And therefore, we should question or we should stop the SEC. In fact, this is a possible scenario. Even for as long or provided that traders can convince the court that they have the legal standing, that they are proper party to question the SEC order. It's possible na pumunta tayo sa Court of Appeals at questionin natin itong to stop the SEC or stop the NTC from ordering ISPs to block Binance.com's website.
Wow.
I'm just saying it's possible, but a case has to be built.
Yeah, interesting. Grabe, attorney, no? Uy, hindi ko napansin, halos 1.5 hour na tayo nag-uusap. Ganun daw talaga pag sobrang ganda po ng ating topic. Grabe. Alright. Mga kamiranda, maraming salamat.
To Coach Miranda Minor.
Teka lang. Maraming salamat, attorney, no? And mga kamiranda for staying in our live. True enough, talagang hindi natapos ang taon. Napaka-educational ng ating live for tonight. And of course, going back to our topic, which is about kaya ba ng Philippines SEC and NTC through NTC ipablock, no? Napakagandang usapan. Technically, kaya nilang gawin. But the question about legality, mukhang ang sabi ni attorney, mahihirapan sila dyan. Attorney, floor is yours. Any last few words po that you'd like to share to our Kamirandas? And of course, Kamiranda type number 1 naman, pasalamat kay attorney tayo. Go ahead, attorney.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that you're enjoying the holidays, especially considering how the market is doing. 2024 looks like a prosperous and a bullish year for the community. But we also have to be vigilant in addressing potential fear, uncertainty, and doubt. No? Kailangan lang nating klaruhin, hindi naman natin kinakalaban ng SEC, hindi naman natin kinakampihan ang Binance, pero ang importante, malinaw sa atin kung ano ba talaga ang pwedeng gawin ng SEC at kung sinasabi nilang iba-block nila yung website, magagawa ba talaga nila yon? No? Kasi importante din yon. Marami sa atin, naglilipat na ng funds. Yun ang tanong, lilipat ko na ba yung funds ko from Binance? Saan mo lilipat? Sa local exchange? O sa... as we have discussed before, it's your decision. Kahit pa sabihin natin na i-order, mag-issue ng cease and desist order against Binance, it's still up to you if you want to maintain your funds there. You're not committing a crime by trading on Binance platform, but of course you're taking that risk. Okay, and hopefully you'll be able to responsibly think about the consequences of your investment or trading decisions.
Alright, on that note, maraming salamat, attorney. I wish you and your family an awesome 2024. You would like to greet them, please go ahead.
Yeah. Hello to Alon Isla Agos, Baby Costa, and to my wife Hazel. To the community, coach, happy bull market. Sana, sana, sana di tayo nagkakamali. No, sana di tayo nagkakamali. And hope our patience for the past few years is ma-reward naman. No? So, yeah, enjoy, take profits.
Alright, attorney, maraming salamat ha. Huwag madadala. At God bless you. Maraming salamat ulit.
Stay in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, Kamiranda. Nako, grabe, napakaganda ng ating topic. Pati din ako ay na-educate, Kamiranda, no? Gusto ko lang sabihin na talagang sobrang na-appreciate ko kayo bilang viewers kasi from the time we started up until now, hindi na babawasan yung ating viewers for tonight. Which tells me that this community really wants to learn. At pangako ko sa inyo, I'm going to be really using our platform to invite educational speakers that can help us clarify current events po, no, coming from a legal lens or legal expert. Maraming salamat, Kamiranda, sa inyo po, no, at sa inyo pong pagtangkilik sa ating program. I would like to also greet people who are in our Facebook group. Maraming salamat. Daniel De La Cruz, Dale Leonora, JR Ramonga, Machi Chakami, Fernan Urusha, Pamela Grace, let's go. Yan sabi ning and then JJ Rase, Mark Manipon, Rexan Solitario Jimenez, Alan Labajo, maraming salamat, Tel Sanoy, Nino Enriquez, Ian Jugilon, Marco, Kokya, James Anthony Sumalabe, Machi Chakami, at sa lahat po. Cesar Salen, everyone who's watching me right now, maraming salamat, Kamiranda. And of course, meron pa rin tayong live for tomorrow, no? At mamaya babantayan natin, sabi nga ni Coach, today's the deadline, no, of the filing of our S1 amendments in the United States SEC. Walang malalaglag sana maihabol lahat, otherwise the market can move. Pag hindi gumalaw ng massive movements ang market, then kalmado tayo because everyone was able to pass their papers on time. Alright. With that said, Kamiranda, maraming salamat sa inyo pong pakikinig. At sabi ni Mr. Wick, hindi na ako nakikinig sa teacher ko, sa'yo na nakikinig, Coach. Uy, wag naman. Ha? Maraming salamat sa inyo. And again, no, Kamiranda, bukas or I'll try ng December 31st, lalabas po ang full version ng ating jingle. Yan, lalabas po ang buong 3-minute version ng Coach Miranda Minor jingle, care of, no, Abigail Hilario, one of the famous songwriter na kilala din pong gumawa ng mga napakagandang mga jingle even on ABS-CBN. Yan. So with that said, Kamiranda, I love you 3,000. Good night. Hindi ko na i-rewind, i-recap yung discussion namin ni attorney because he was very clear naman, no, in our discussion for tonight. Okay? With that said, maraming salamat. God bless you, Kamiranda, at Shalom.
Coach Miranda Minor.